This is the preserved skull of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, one of the largest and most fearsome carnivores to ever exist. But this isn't the only thing that survived from these prehistoric monsters. In some cases, the skin cells and even the blood cells of dinosaurs have been preserved inside their fossilized bones, protecting their DNA for millions of years. In fact, scientists have recovered real dino DNA and analyzed it in modern labs. So the question is, are we closer than ever before to bringing dinosaurs back to life? Join us as we investigate if we can truly bring back the king of the dinosaurs. In 2007, paleontologists were excavating dinosaur fossils in the Hell Creek Formation in Montana when they stumbled across something astonishing. Among the remains of ancient creatures were the footprints left by a herd of dinosaurs, and what made these footprints so special was that they were preserved in mud that also contained the preserved skin impression of a small child had been walking alongside its parents. This wasn't just any dinosaur. The tracks belonged to a Tyrannosaurus Rex, one of the largest and most terrifying predators in history. The fossil showed that the young T-Rex was about the size of a large dog, but it also revealed something else. Unlike the rough, scaly skin of other reptiles, dinosaurs actually had feathers, which would have helped keep the baby warm as it walked with its family. But that's not all this fossil gave us. Skin cells were found near the preserved footprints. These cells still contain traces of DNA. Now, this is very important because, contrary to popular belief, dinosaur fossils don't always look like the dry bones you might see in museums. Sometimes, just sometimes, organic material like skin does get preserved, and with it, traces of DNA. That's right. Dinosaur DNA has been discovered in some fossils, but there's a big catch. The quality of this DNA is extremely poor. It's very degraded. It's heavily contaminated, and it's impossible to sequence. So while scientists can confirm that certain fossils contain DNA based on the presence of specific chemical building blocks, they can't actually read that DNA or use it to identify the animal's traits. However, scientists may have found a solution to this problem in an unexpected place: mosquitoes trapped in amber. Amber is fossilized tree resin that's naturally occurring, and in some cases, insects like mosquitoes get trapped inside. What makes these amber-preserved specimens so special is that they offer an incredible opportunity to study prehistoric life. The resin acts like a time capsule, locking in the specimen's shape and preserving it for millions of years. But how can this help us with dinosaur DNA? Well, thanks to these tiny time capsules, scientists have been able to recover incredibly well-preserved ancient DNA. Take, for example, a mosquito found in a piece of amber from the Dominican Republic. Not only did researchers successfully sequence its genome, but they also identified the genes responsible for making wings and legs, which allowed them to confirm that the insect really was a mosquito. More surprisingly, they also discovered a protein called hemoglobin, which is usually found in red blood cells. This discovery suggested that the mosquito had flown straight from a flowering plant to its sticky demise, explaining why its blood had preserved so well inside its body. All of this means that studying amber-preserved specimens like this mosquito is helping scientists better understand ancient ecosystems. And who knows, maybe someday it will even help them bring dinosaurs back to life. The process of finding and extracting ancient DNA from fossils is incredibly difficult. First, scientists have to locate a fossil that contains preserved organic material. Then they need to carefully remove rock and sediment from the fossil without damaging the DNA. Once they finally have the fossil in hand, they have to break it up into smaller pieces to extract the DNA. But this is only the beginning. The next step is to concentrate the DNA, which can be extremely challenging because it's often fragmented and only present in very small quantities. After that, scientists can start piecing together the dinosaur's genetic code by comparing its DNA to that of closely related species. But despite all these challenges, scientists are getting closer and closer to recovering complete dinosaur genomes, and that's where the dream of bringing dinosaurs back to life begins. One day, scientists may be able to edit a chicken's genome to make it look more like a velociraptor. But first, they need to find a way to bring back a more familiar face. That's right, the woolly mammoth. Woolly mammoths went extinct about 4,000 years ago, but scientists think they may be able to bring them back to life using a process called de-extinction. To do this, they plan to edit the genome of an elephant to make it more like a woolly mammoth. The idea is that elephants and woolly mammoths are closely related, So by tweaking the elephant's genome, scientists may be able to recreate its extinct cousin. But it won't be easy. The woolly mammoth genome contains many changes that aren't found in modern elephants, so scientists will have to make a lot of tweaks to bring the elephant genome in line. And even if they do, there's no guarantee that the resulting animal will be able to reproduce. But scientists are optimistic. With the help of new gene editing tools like CRISPR, they may be able to recreate the woolly mammoth in just a few years. And if they're successful, it could pave the way for bringing back other extinct species like the dodo bird or perhaps even the dinosaur. But there's a big question that looms over all of this. Should we bring dinosaurs back to life? If we could, would we want them roaming around our planet again? Or are some things better left in the past? Let us know what you think. Bringing back a dinosaur like the Tyrannosaurus Rex would require a huge amount of resources and expertise. First, scientists would need to find a suitable host species. The T-Rex was a theropod dinosaur, which means it was a biped meat-eater. The closest living relatives of theropods are birds, which means that scientists might try to recreate the T-Rex by manipulating the genome of a bird. But birds are very different from the T-Rex, so scientists would have to make a lot of changes to its genome to make it look and behave like a T-Rex. They would also need to find a way to grow a T-Rex embryo outside of a bird egg. And they would need to figure out how to raise a baby T-Rex. Finally, they would need to decide where to put the newly created T-Rex. It couldn't live in the wild because there are no other dinosaurs left alive today to serve as a population. And it couldn't live in captivity because it would be too dangerous. So with all of these challenges in mind, are scientists actually trying to bring back the Tyrannosaurus Rex or other dinosaurs? Surprisingly, yes. In 2021, a team of scientists from Harvard University announced that they were going to try to recreate an extinct species of mini marsupial lion using CRISPR gene editing technology. While this is not a dinosaur, it is another extinct animal. And if successful, it could pave the way for bringing back dinosaurs. There's also Colossal Biosciences, a company founded in 2021 with the goal of bringing back extinct species like the woolly mammoth. While the company hasn't announced any plans to bring back dinosaurs, it's possible that they could do so in the future. But even if they did, it wouldn't happen for a long time. Some scientists estimate that it could take up to 100 years to bring back a dinosaur like the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The idea of bringing back dinosaurs may seem like a fantasy, but it's actually closer to reality than you think. In 2023, scientists are making incredible discoveries about dinosaur DNA and developing new technologies that could allow them to bring back extinct animals. Who knows what the future will hold? Maybe someday we'll be able to walk among dinosaurs once again. Thank you for watching. Do you think we should bring dinosaurs back to life? Share your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing videos. See you next time.